going to starting the unit 3. Okay, that is generator and a transformer protection. Basically, in the case of a power system, the main components are the generators and the transformers. Okay, the modern electrical power system consisting of a several elements such as generators, transformers, bus bars, transmission lines and other equipments. It is very important elements in the case of a power system. That's why we need the separate protection for that, these generators and the transformers. Okay, in the unit 1 we study about the circuit breakers, and also in the unit 2 we study about the relays. Okay, the relay gives the indication to the circuit breaker. After that, the circuit breaker is operated and disconnected the faulty equipment from the system. Okay, that already we studied it in the first and the second unit. Okay, now coming to the third unit, that is the generators and a transformer protection. First of all, why we give the separate protection for the generators and the transformers. Okay, that is the main important reason. First, why we need the separate protection for that generator, and why we need the separate protection for the transformers. Okay, basically in the case of a generating systems, the major equipments are the costly equipments are the generators, transformers, and also we are having the bus bars and a transmission systems. Okay, these equipments are the very costly equipments when compared to the other equipments. That's why we need the separate protection for that generator and transformers. That is the one of the major region for giving the protection of that generator and a transformer. Okay, basically the modern electrical power system consists of several elements such as generators, transformers, bus bars and the other equipments. Okay, it is the imperative to protect the line and other associated equipments and other these associated equipments. Okay, these generators and transformers are to be protected from the different types of faults by using these relays and the circuit breakers. We protect the generators and the transformers from the different types of faults. Okay, the protective relays are already studied in the case of a previous unit, that is electromagnetic relays. Okay, why we are using that relays means the relay gives the alarm signal to the circuit breaker, then the relay will be operated. Okay, then the relay will be operated. Okay, that's why we are using the relays in that protective scheme. Okay, the generators and the transformers are the one of the major equipments in the case of a power system. That's why we give the separate protection for that generators and the transformer is the one of the major important criteria in the case of a power system. Okay, in the case of a power system, the major important or major costly equipments in generating system or a distribution system are the generators and the transformers. Okay, that's why we give the separate protection for that generators and the transformers. Okay, the protection of the generators is the most complex one. For that generator is the costly equipment and one of the major likes in the power system. Okay, generator is not a single equipment. Okay, the generator is not a single equipment, but it is associated with a unit transformers, auxiliary transformers, station bus bars, exciting systems, prime movers, voltage regulating equipments, cooling systems, etc. Okay, the generator is not a single equipment. It consists of a transformers, bus bars, excitation systems, prime movers, voltage regulating equipments, and also the cooling equipments, etc. are there. Okay, the protection of this generator is to be coordinated with associated equipments. While giving the protection to the generator, we give the protection for that transformers, bus bars, and also voltage regulating equipments, and also some of the cooling systems are to be protected while giving the protection for that generators. Okay, while giving the protection for that generators, these are all the following points that are to be considered for the protection of these equipments. For this protection of these equipments. Okay, the generator capacity has rises in recent years from 30 megawatts to 500 megawatts. Okay, in the recent days we are using the we are increasing the capacity of that generators, that is 30 megawatts to 500 megawatts. Okay, for rising of this capacity, the loss of single mission may causes the overloading. Okay, the loss of single mission may causing the overloading of associated missions, associated missions. Okay, the basic function of this protection applied to the generator is to reduce the outage period to minimum by rapid description clearance of the fault. For rapidly clearance of the fault, we give the protection, separate protection for that generator unit. Okay, opening a breaker to isolate the faulty generator is not sufficient to further damages. Okay, since the generator will continues to supply power to a stator winding fault until its field excitation is supported. Okay, therefore necessary that the field is open, necessary for that field is open. Okay, that's why we give the separate protection for that generators. Okay, while selecting the protection for that generator, the protection of the complete unit and stability of the system due to the disturbances in the generator should be considered in the addition to the protection of a generator. Okay, that means that while giving the selection scheme or the protection for that generators, that unit consists we observe the stability of the system, and also we observe the any disturbances are there, that all will be observed for giving that protection. Okay, the type of protection used for particular generators depending upon the switchgear employee for the controls. That means the starting, stopping, and speed vibrations. Starting and stopping on speed vibration of that generators. Okay, the type of protection is to be used for depending upon the starting of that generator and stoppage of that generator, and also speed of that generator. That all will be considered for selection of this type of the protective systems. Okay, the generator two basic protections are there, that is the thermal overload protection. Next one is the short circuit protection. Okay, the generator is giving the protection for that short circuit protection and also thermal overload protection. Okay, in that generator protection, in today's class I am discussing about the introduction to the generator protection. That means why we give the separate protection for that generators, and also what are the protective zones are there, that all will be discussed, and also the generator protection and a differential protection. Okay, these topics are covered in this class. These topics are to be covered in this class. in the generating station. Okay, in that generating station, the generators is the one of the major costly equipments. The generators are the one of the major costly equipments. Okay, the generators and transformer are the most expensive equipments. Okay, and hence it is designed to employ a protection systems to isolate the faulty equipments as quickly as possible to keep the healthy section in the normal position. Okay, the system will be is in the normal position. For that reason, we are considering the separate protection for that generators and a transformers. Why? Because we give the separated protection for the generators and transformer means that it having the most expensive equipments. It is the most expensive equipments. Okay, that's why we give the separate protection for that generator and a transformers. Okay, if you are not giving any separate protection for that generators, suppose any short circuits are obtained near that generator, the generator will be failure, and then we replace but that generator with a new one, then the cost of the distribution or a transmission system will be increased. Okay, that cost will be added for that in number of units. If the cost of that units will be increases, automatically the attraction of the consumers also decreases. Okay, then overall generation will be disturbed. That's why we give the separate protection for that generators and a transformers. Okay, why? Because we give the separate protection for that generators and transformer means that it is a most expensive equipments in the case of a power system. That means either generating station are also distribution systems and also transmission systems in, and each and every system having the generators and the transformers. Okay, each and every system, the generators and transformers are the most expensive equipments. That's why we compulsory give the separate protection for that generators and a transformers. Okay, for quickly isolation of that faults are quickly possible to keep the healthy section in the normal position. Okay, for uninterrupted of electrical supply. Okay, we obtain the uninterrupted of power supply, then we give the separate protection for that generators. A transformers is the one of the basic main consideration. Okay, the basic electrical equipments, those are likely to change during abnormal fault conditions are current, voltage, phase angle and the frequencies. Okay, normally in the case of a power system or in the case of a power system, the equipments are the electrical quantities are to be changed or the current, voltage, phase angle and a frequencies. Okay, the protective relays utilizes one or more quantities to detect abnormal conditions in the power systems. Okay, by using these protective relays, we observe or we detect any abnormal conditions for that current, voltage or phase angle and the frequencies. Okay, in that case we give the protection for that generators. Okay, that is the basic introduction for giving the separate protection for that generators. Okay, that is the basic introduction for giving the separate protection for that generators. Next, coming to the various protective zones. Okay, this is the overall power system protection. What are the various protective zones are there in this case of power systems? Okay, that all will be discussed. Various protective zones. What are the protective zones are there? What are the protective zones are there in the case of a power system? Okay, basically it will be divided into 6 zones. Basically the overall protective system zones will be divided into 6 zones. That is, first one is the generator and a transformer unit. Okay, in that first one is the generator and a transformer unit. Okay, this is the generator and this is the transformer. If both are coupling to each other, then it is called as the zone 1. It is known as the zone 1. Okay, next second one is the we give the separate protection for that transformer also. That is the second zone, that is the transformers. Okay, then the protective systems will be divided into different zones for hmm, easily to give the protection for that systems. Okay, that's why that overall system will be divided into separate zones. In that, first one is the generator area, generator transformer unit. This total are the generator and a transformer unit zone. Okay, next one is the transformers. Separately we give the protection for that transformers. That why it is called as the transformer zone. That's why we are called as the transformers zones. Next one is the bus bars. Okay, this dark black color line indicates the bus bars. Okay, that bus bars will be giving the separate protection. Okay, this is the bus bar and this is the circuit breaker and this is the another circuit breaker. One circuit breaker is connected at the sending end side and other circuit breaker will be connected at the receiving end side. Okay, both the circuit breakers are connected at both the ends of these bus bars. This is called as the bus zone. Okay, this is called as the bus zone. This is the generator transformer zone area, unit generator zone, and this is the transformer zone. In the transformer zone, sending end side we are connecting the one relay coil and receiving end side we are also connecting the another relay coil. Same as that of in the case of a bus bars also, sending end side we are connecting the one type of protective circuit breakers and receiving end side is also connecting the another type of protective circuit breakers. This okay, it is called as the bus zones. It is called as the bus zones. Next one is the lines are a transmission and a distribution. Okay, this is called as the line zone. This is called as the line zone. In that case, we are having the either transmission lines or also the distribution lines are there. Okay, this is the line zones. In that case, we are having the transmission lines and also the distribution lines are there. It is called as the lines are a transmission and a distribution lines. Next, fifth one is the utilization equipments. Okay, what are the utilization equipments are there? That is the motor, static loads are etc. Okay, this is the utilization equipments. In that we are having the motor and also static loads is called as the utilization equipments are the, this is also called as the transformation zone. Okay, next last one is the capacitor or a reactor. Capacitor or a reactor. Okay, this is also the motor zone. Next last one is the capacitor or a reactor. Okay, at the end of this we are having the capacitor or a reactor. In that case we are give the separate protection for that. Okay, this is also bus zone and this is also motor zone. This is the motor, that's why it is called as the motor zone, and this is a transformer, that's why we are calling as the transformer zones, and this is the bus, that's why we are called as the bus zone, and this is the line, that's why we are called as the line zones. Okay, this is the bus, then it is called as the bus zones, and this is the transformer, then it is called as the transformer zones. Okay, the protective zones are basically divided into six zones, that is generator area, generator transformer zone, this is the generator area, unit generator transformer zones. Next one is the transformer zone, next one is the bus zone, next one is the transmission line zone, next one is the utilization equipments, that is the motor and a static loads. Okay, this is the utilization equipment zone. Next last one is the capacitor or a reactor, capacitor or a reactor zone. Okay, when it is giving the separate protection for that capacitor or a reactor, then we divided into capacitor or a reactor zone. Okay, that is the various protective zones in the case of a generator or a generator protection schemes. Various protective schemes are there in the case of a generator and a generator protection schemes. Okay, next one is the what are the why we give the what are the equipments are there for giving that protection? That is the generator protection. That is the generator protection. Basically we are having the stator winding, that is we give the stator protection. Okay, first one is the stator protection, next one is the differential protection, next one is the restricted earth faults protection, next one is the negative sequence current protection, next one is the loss of load. In some cases we suddenly drop that load, in that case we are obtaining the loss of loads. In that case, how we give the protection for that generator, that all will be discussed in that loss of loads. Okay, various protective schemes in the case of a generators are the various protective schemes in the case of a generators are the stator protection, differential protection and restricted earth faults protection, negative sequence current protection, loss of load. Okay, the various protective schemes for in the case of a generator are the stator protection, differential protection, restricted earth fault protection, negative sequence current protection, next loss of load, next one is the loss of load. Okay, these are the various protective schemes in the case of a generator protection. Okay, first and also we are having the some of the protective schemes are there, that is the rotor earth fault protection. Okay, rotor earth fault protection and over speed protection. While the generator will be having the very high speed, in that case we give the separate protection, that is called as the over speed protection. Next one is the over voltages. If you are obtaining any high voltages in the case of a generators, in that case this type of protection will be used, that is over voltage protection. Next one is the loss of field. In some cases we lost the field current, then that's why we are having the separate protection for that loss of field protection. Next one is the backup or the over current protection. Next one is the backup or over current protections. Okay, these are the various protective schemes in the case of a generator. Okay, stator protection, differential protection, restricted earth fault protection, negative sequence current protection, loss of load protection, loss of excitation, loss of excitation, over speeds, over voltages and rotor earth faults and backup over current faults, over current protection. Okay, these are the various protective schemes are there in the case of a generator. Generator protection are by using while giving these protections to the generators, then automatically the generator will be within a safe zone. Okay, therefore the life of this generator will also be increased. Okay, therefore the life of that generator will also be increased. Okay, next one is the first one of the major important protection in the case of a generator protection, or the first one is the differential protection. Okay, the major important protection for the case of a generator protection is the differential protections. In the case of these differential protections, okay, this is the basic circuit diagram for that differential protection. In that we are using the alternator or a generator stator winding is there. In that both the ends we are connecting the two CTs. Okay, this is the CT1 and this is the CT 2. Okay, three-phase system means that's why we are using the R by B. R by B. Each and every phase we are having the separate CTs. Okay, and each and every phase we are having the windings, that is stator winding. Then this winding is also giving to the earth resistance for the protection of these earth faults. Okay, for the protection of this earth faults, this is the R phase of that alternator, this is the Y phase of that alternator, and this is the B phase of that alternator. Okay, both the CTs of that secondaries will be connected to the CT2s, and this end will be connected with the ground neutral. This side of the CT1 and CT2 is also connected to the neutral point. And then each and every phase or each and every CT connection of that pillet wise, we are using the R1 relay coil, R2 relay coil, and the RT relay coil. Okay, each and every phase having the relay coil, and then it will be given to the protective, and it will be given to the protective or a tripping circuit. Tripping circuit. Okay, this is the generator winding. In the both ends of these windings, we are connecting the two CTs. That CTs are connected by using the pillet wires. Okay, the CT1 and CT2 are connected by using the pillet wires. Okay, at the midpoint of these pillet wires, we are connecting the relay coils, that is R1, R2, R3. Okay, that that CTs are connected by using that pillet wires. Then it will be connected to the R1 relay coil and R2 relay coil and also R3 relay coil. Okay, and also R3 relay coil, and this CT will be connected to the neutral point, and this relay coils are also connected to the tripping circuit. Okay, this is the basic constructional diagram for that differential protection of a generator. Okay, this is the basic constructional diagram for that differential protection of the generators. Okay, the CTs are provided at the end of the generator winding, which is not to be protected. Okay, both the CTs are provided at the end of the generator winding. When there is a no fault, in that case, the differential current I1 minus I2 through the relay is 0. Okay, so that the relay will not be operated. Under normal operating conditions, there is any difference between the currents for that CT1 and the CT2. There is no differences between these CTs, then no currents will be flowing through this relay coil. Then the relay coil does not energetic, and relay coil does not closes this tripping circuit. If the relay coil does not closes this tripping circuit, that means the circuit breaker does not operated under normal operating conditions or the no fault conditions. Okay, when the fault occurs, the balance is distribute, and differential current I1 minus I2 flows through the operating coil. Suppose if any faults are obtained, the balance is disturbed. Okay, for both the CTs. Okay, at the starting condition, we are taking the two balanced CTs, that is CT1 and the CT2. The two balanced CTs are taken at the both the end of these generators, CT1 and the CT2. Under normal operating conditions, there is no current difference between this CT1 and the CT2, and therefore no currents will be flowing through this relay coil. If any faults are obtained or any short circuit currents are obtained, in that case, there is some differences between this CT1 and the CT2. Okay, that differential currents will be flowing through this relay coil. Okay, that differential currents will be flowing through these relay coils. If the differential currents will flowing through these relay coils, then automatically the relay coil is energetic, automatically the relay coil is energetic, therefore the tripping circuit is closed. Okay, the relay coil is energetic, therefore the tripping circuit is closed. If the tripping circuit is closed, automatically it will be trips the circuit. It will be trips the circuit, and then circuit breaker again be operated, and the circuit breaker disconnected the faulty portion from the system area from the network. Okay, this is the operation for the differential protection. Differential protection means that it is same as that of a differential relays. Okay, we already studied in the previous classes what is the working principle that differential relays means. We are taking the balanced cities at the both ends, sending end and receiving ends. Okay, under normal operating conditions, while we are considering the balanced cities, that means no different currents will be flowing in that relays. Suppose the fault will be obtained in between these two windings. There is some changes in between the CT1 and the CT2. Okay, due to that fault, some fault currents will be flowing through that CT1. Therefore, there is some differences will be obtained between this CT1 and the CT2. Okay, that differential currents will be flowing through the relay coil. That differential currents will be flowing through this relay coil. Then automatically that relay coil will be operated. Okay, then automatically the relay coil will be operated. If the relay coil will be operated within will be operated, then operated means that the relay coil will be energetic. If the relay coil will be energetic, the plunger connected to this relay coil, this is the plunger. If this coil will be energetic, that means it pulls the plunger in the upward direction. Okay, it pulls the plunger in the upward direction. This relay coil is also energetic, and then it pulls the plunger in the upward direction, and this relay coil is also energetic, and then it pulls in the upward direction. While pulling these relay coils in the upward direction, then automatically it closes the tripping circuit. Okay, it closes the tripping circuit. Then automatically it gives the indication to the circuit breaker. Then the circuit breaker will be protected within a protected and are disconnected from the system. Okay, the generator will be disconnected from the system. Okay, and we observe this. This is the earthing resistance. That earthing resistance is also connected to the alternator. Why? Because we are using this earthing resistance means that if any earth faults are obtained, okay, due to that earth faults, some faulted currents will be flowing through that relay coil, and then relay will be operated. Okay, in that situation, that earth faults will be adjusted by using this earthing resistance. If any earth fault currents are obtained, in that case, by adjusting this resistance, we already well known about the I resistance is inversely proportional to the current. If the current will be increases, then automatically we adjust that resistance, then it reduces the effect of that earth fault currents. Okay, that's why we are using the earthing resistance to that alternator. If any fault currents or short circuit currents are obtained in that near the earth, then by adjusting this resistance, we obtaining the balanced conditions for that both cities. Or in some cases, we are disturbing these balanced conditions for that CT1 and CT2. In that situations also, we are using this earthing resistance. By adjusting this resistance, we are adjusting the balancing conditions for that CT1 and also CT2. Okay, Okay, by adjusting these balanced conditions for that CT1 and the CT2, we automatically obtaining the balancing conditions for that CTs. Okay, the CTs will be in the case of a balanced condition. In that case only the relay will be operated within a good operation position. Okay, but if there is any disturbances are obtained in the case of a balanced position of that CTs, then automatically without faulted condition also the relay will be operated. Why the relay will be operated means that when there is a some phase difference between these two CTs, then automatically that differential currents will be flowing through this relay coil. Okay, the differential currents will be flowing through this relay coil, then automatically the relay will be operated under normal operating conditions also. Okay, to overcome these faults, to overcome these fault conditions, or to overcome that mal-operation of that relay, we are using the earthing resistance. Okay, what is the main reason for, what is the main usage of this earthing resistance is the, while adjusting, what is the main usage of this earthing resistance is that if any balanced conditions are disturbed in the case of a CT1 and CT2, in that case that balances will be adjusted by using by adjusting this earthing resistance. Okay, that balanced conditions will be adjusted by using these earthing resistances. Okay, that balanced conditions will be adjusted by using this earthing resistance, then automatically the relay coil, the CTs, both the CTs are will be in the balanced position for each and the every case. Okay, for each and the every case both the CTs are to be balanced together. Okay, that's why we are using the earthing resistance in the case of a differential protections. Okay, okay, this is the differential protection for in the case of a generator. Okay, this is the generator winding. In that both the end of this generator we are connecting the CT1 and the CT2. Okay, we already studied about the differential relay protection. What is the working for that differential relay? If there is any differences between these two CTs and the, then that relay coil will be operated. Under normal operating conditions, there is no differences between this CT1 and the CT2. Okay, if any abnormal conditions or short circuit conditions are obtained, in that case only there is a differences between this CT1 and the CT2. Okay, that differential currents will be flowing through this relay coil R1, R2, R3. Then the relay coil will be energetic. Then this plunger will be moves in the upward direction. If the plunger will be moves in the upward direction, then automatically the tripping circuit is closed and then it gives the indication to the circuit breaker. ఓకే, అర్థమైందమ్మా. స్టేటర్ వైండింగ్ కి జనరేటర్ వైండింగ్ కి బోత్ సైడ్స్ మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాము అంటే టూ సిటీస్ అనేవి కనెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాం. ఓకే, ఈ సిటీస్ ని మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాము అంటే పిల్లెట్ వైస్ తో CT1 ని CT2 ని కనెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాము. ఈ అనదర్ సైడ్ ఏమో న్యూట్రల్ కి కనెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాం. ఓకే, ఈ పిల్లెట్ వైస్ మిడిల్ పాయింట్ నుంచి వీఆర్ కనెక్టింగ్ ద రిలే కాయిల్స్ ని కనెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాము. అండర్ నార్మల్ ఆపరేటింగ్ కండిషన్స్ లో బోత్ ద సిటీస్ ఆర్ బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ టుగెదర్. దట్ మీన్స్ దెర్ ఈస్ నో కరెంట్స్ విల్ బి ఫ్లోయింగ్. దట్ మీన్స్ no differential currents will be obtained. Therefore I1 plus I2 is equal to the 0. Okay, the I1 minus I2 is equal to the 0 in under normal operating condition. Suppose if any faults are obtained like this, suppose the faults will be obtained in between the Y and the B phases. In that case, some differential currents will be flowing. Okay, so the currents will be increased in these two Y and the B phases of these cities. Therefore, there is some differences between this CT1 and the CT2. Okay, that differential currents will be flowing through this relay coil. That differential currents will be flowing through this relay coil. In that case only the relay coil will be energetic. There is a differences between these two coils. ఈ రెండిట్లో మనకి ఏదైనా డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంటేనే కరెంట్ లో అప్పుడే రిలే కాయిల్స్ లోకి మనకి కరెంట్ అనేది పాస్ అయ్యి అప్పుడే మనకి ఇదేంటి ప్లంగర్ అనేది అప్వర్డ్ డైరెక్షన్ కి మూవ్ అయ్యి ట్రిప్పింగ్ సర్క్యూట్ ని క్లోజ్ చేస్తుంది. నార్మల్ ఆపరేషన్ నో ఫాల్ట్ కండిషన్ లో అయితే CT1 CT2 లోకి ఫ్లో అయ్యే కరెంట్ డిఫరెన్స్ అనేది, డిఫరెన్స్ అంటే దిస్ ఇస్ ద I1 కరెంట్ I2 కరెంట్, I1 మైనస్ I2 గాని చేస్తే జీరో కరెంట్స్ అనేవి అప్టెండ్ అవుతాయి అండర్ నార్మల్ ఆపరేటింగ్ కండిషన్స్. అప్పుడు రిలే కాయిల్స్ లోకి ఫ్లో అయ్యే కరెంట్ ఎంతమ్మా? జీరో కరెంట్. ఎప్పుడైతే మనకి రిలే కాయిల్స్ లోకి జీరో కరెంట్ ఫ్లో అవుతుందో రిలే కాయిల్ అనేది ట్రిప్పింగ్ సర్క్యూట్ ని క్లోజ్ చేయలేదు. సపోజ్ ద ఫాల్ట్ విల్ బి అప్టైన్. ఇక్కడ ఫాల్ట్ అనేది అప్టైన్ అయింది అనుకున్నాం. ఫాల్ట్స్ అనేవి అప్టైండ్ అయినప్పుడు ఈ రెండు వైండింగ్స్ లో మనకి చేంజింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద కరెంట్స్ అనేవి ఫ్లో అవుతాయి. ఇలా చేంజింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద కరెంట్స్ ఫ్లో అవటం వల్ల కరెంట్ అనేది కొద్దిగా ఇంక్రీజ్ అయిందా? డ్యూ టు దిస్ షార్ట్ సర్క్యూట్ కరెంట్స్ సమ్ కరెంట్స్ విల్ బి ఇంక్రీజ్డ్ ఇన్ ది CT1. Why? Because the currents will be increased in that CT1 means it is near to the CT1. Therefore, there is some differential currents will be obtained. I1 minus I2 గాని మనం చేస్తే కొంత differential currents అనేవి obtained అవుతాయి. Okay, that differential currents will be flowing through these relay coils, that is R1 coil, R2 coil and the R3 coil. Okay, the differential currents will be flowing through this relay coil. ఎప్పుడైతే మనకి రిలే కాయిల్ లోకి డిఫరెన్షియల్ కరెంట్స్ అనేవి I1 మైనస్ I2 కరెంట్స్ అనేవి అప్టైన్ అయినప్పుడు ఆ కరెంట్స్ ఫ్లో అయ్యాయో ఆటోమేటిక్ గా రిలే కాయిల్ అనేది ఎనర్జెటిక్ అయ్యి దానివల్ల రిలే కాయిల్ కి ఏదైతే ప్లంగర్ ని కనెక్ట్ చేసామో అది అప్వర్డ్ మూవ్మెంట్ కి జరుగుతుంది. ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ అప్వర్డ్ మూవ్మెంట్ కి మనకి జరిగిందో ఆటోమేటిక్ గా ట్రిప్పింగ్ సర్క్యూట్ అనేది క్లోజ్ అవుతుంది. ఈ సర్క్యూట్ లో అలాగే మనం ఇంకొక ఎర్తింగ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ అనేది తీసుకున్నామా. వాట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ యూజ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఎర్తింగ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్? మీన్స్ ద ఇఫ్ ఎనీ balances are obtained, that means normal operating conditions లో మనం నార్మల్ గా సిటీస్ అనేవి ఈక్వల్ బ్యాలెన్స్ కండిషన్ లో ఉన్న సిటీస్ అనేవి తీసుకుంటున్నాం. ఏదైనా మనకి డిస్టర్బెన్సెస్ అప్టెండ్ అవటం వల్ల వీటిల్లో ఉన్న బ్యాలెన్సెస్ అనేవి మనకి డిస్టర్బ్ అయినప్పుడు అటువంటి కండిషన్స్ లో ఎర్తింగ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ ద్వారా మనం అడ్జస్ట్ చేసుకొని రెండు సిటీస్ అనేవి బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ పొజిషన్ కి తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ ఇందులోనే డిఫరెన్షియల్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ లో ఇంకొకటి ఏంటి అంటే బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ అనే దాన్ని మనం తీసుకున్నాం. ఓకే, ఈ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ రెసిస్టర్ యొక్క మెయిన్ పర్పస్ ఏంటి అంటే రెండు డిఫరెన్షియల్ సిటీస్ లో మనకి డిస్టర్బ్ ఈ ఎర్త్ వల్ల వచ్చే ఫాల్ట్స్ వల్ల సిటీస్ అనే బ్యాలెన్స్ చేంజ్ అయినప్పుడు మనం అడ్జస్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. దాంతో పాటు ఈ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ అనేవి తీసుకోవడం వల్ల రెండు సిటీస్ అనేవి మనకి ఎప్పుడు బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ పొజిషన్ లో మనం ప్లేస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ బోత్ ద సిటీస్ ఆర్ ఇన్ ద బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ పొజిషన్ లో రెండు సిటీస్ మనం ఎప్పుడైతే తెచ్చుకున్నామో అప్పుడు మనకి ఏంటి నార్మల్ ఆపరేటింగ్ కండిషన్ లో రిలే అనేది ఆపరేట్ అవ్వదు. ఓన్లీ అబ్నార్మల్ కండిషన్స్ లోనే రిలే ఆపరేట్ అయ్యి ప్లంగర్ అనేది అప్వర్డ్ మూవ్మెంట్ కి జరిగి అప్పుడు మాత్రమే రిలే కాయిల్ అనేది ఆపరేట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్షియల్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ బై యూజింగ్ ద బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్. ఓకే, బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ అనేవి మనం ఇలా యూజ్ చేయటం వల్ల ఇలా మనకి డిఫరెన్షియల్ ప్రొటెక్షన్స్ అనేవి అప్టెండ్ అవుతున్నాయి. ఓకే, ఇది డిఫరెన్షియల్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ యూజింగ్ విత్ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్. ఓకే, బై యూసేజ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ we adjust the we balancing the CT1 and the CT2. 2. Okay, that is the main important reason for using these balancing resistors. Okay, that name is called as the differential protection using balancing resistors. Okay, differential protections using balancing resistors. ఇలా differential protection ని మనం యూజ్ చేసుకొని బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ పొజిషన్ కి తీసుకొచ్చేదాన్ని బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ రెసిస్టర్స్ ని యూజ్ చేసి రెండు సిటీస్ మధ్యలో మనం బ్యాలెన్సెస్ అనేవి డిస్టర్బెన్స్ అవ్వకుండా ఈక్వల్ బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ కండిషన్స్ లో ఉండేటట్టు రెండు సిటీస్ ని మనకి అప్టైన్ చేయాలి అంటే వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ద బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ resistors. Okay, normal operating conditions both the cities are balanced together. That means there is no changes in between the I1 current and the I2 current. Therefore, no changes in between this I1 current and I2 current means the zero currents will be flowing through these relay coils. Suppose if the zero currents will be flowing through this relay coil, the plunger is moves in the upward direction, does not moves in the upward direction. Then the tripping circuit does not closes. Suppose if any faults are obtained, in that case only that relay coils will be energetic and then plunger moves in the upward direction. In that case only the tripping circuit closes its contacts. Okay, this is the working of a differential protection using the balancing resistors or a differential protection for the generator protections. Okay, basically what are the main generator protections are there are the stator protection, differential protection, restricted earth fault protection, negative sequence, loss of load, rotor earth faults, over speed, over voltages, loss of field, backup over currents. Okay, these are the differential protections are used for protection of these generators. Okay, that differential relay will be operated when there is a differences between the I1 current and the I2 current. In that case only the relay will be operated. Otherwise the relay does not operated without differences between these I1 minus I2 currents. Suppose that I1 minus I2 currents will be obtained. In that case only the relay coil will be operated and then it closes the tripping circuit and then it gives the indication to the circuit breaker. And then the circuit breaker automatically disconnected the faulty portion or disconnected the generator from the supply system. Okay, then the generator will be protected and generator will be within a very safe zone. Okay, that is the main function for the differential protection used in the case of a generators. Okay, this is the differential protection of generator and this is the differential protection using the balancing resistors. For balanced conditions of this CT1 and CT2, we are obtaining these balancing resistors.